What up, what up, what up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode number 134 of Siriani Says Sports. And today, we usually talk about a lot of NFL. And I know Ryan has talked about, not really paying attention to baseball because the Yankees are the Yankees and they didn't really have a good year this year. But I have been so invested in the Major League Baseball playoffs and the final races to get to the postseason that I decided we're going to have something that we haven't done before in a long time. And when I mean a long time, I mean since the NFL bracket challenge. We are going to have an MLB playoff bracket challenge. And what that's going to mean is we're going to compete based on who is the smartest and who can get the most points off this bracket challenge. But it's not just going to be me and Ryan. Oh, no, 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 no. It's not just going to be me, Ryan, and Laura. Oh, no, 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 no. We have a special guest coming on for the bracket challenge. My good friend Jake Cardinelli, who is a Mets Jets fan. He has his own sports talk, Sports with Jake. You can follow on Jake on Cardi J3152 and also at Jake Cardinelli 6 on Twitter. So we're gonna have him on soon, and Ryan's gonna love this guy because he's a hardcore Jets fan. Hardcore.
My boy.
But anyways, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Matt Siriani, and I'm finally getting the physical therapy I need thanks to the support I have with my parents and everyone else around me. And my shoulder's feeling a little bit better, so that's good. And that is Ryan Barron Jr., who's got a little bit of optimism for the Jets fans now that Zach wants to play against the Chiefs. How you doing, Ryan?
You know the meme, Maddie, where it's Hawkeye from Endgame. He's like, "Don't give me hope." That's me. That's
Yep,
how I
that's how you
feel.
feel right now.
I'd rather lose like the Giants did. Sorry, Maddie, on Monday night than watch what the Jets did.
Oh god.
I'd rather get blown out than get a heart. You can get a heart wrencher.
Yeah, you have a good point there. You have a good point. Yeah, we'll get into the. All right, so here's how this is going to happen. The form of the show is going to change a little bit because of the MLB Playoff Bracket Challenge. We're going to do picks based on the spread first. Then we're going to do our bets for the week. And then we're going to do the playoff bracket challenge. So that's how it's going to be. So let's get started. I can finally clap now. So we're going to start off with picks based on the spread. This is based off of DraftKings and also Yahoo Sports. Ryan's going to read the picks based on the spreads, and we're going to pick based on whether a team's going to cover or whether they're not going to cover. So, Ryan, what is the first game on the menu for week number
So
5?
you want to hear some baloney first off, Maddie? See how so
Sure.
last week I went 12-4, right? And I lost my
Yeah.
pick on the tiebreaker.
Yep.
This week I won. I went 10-6.
There you
I
go.
won by half a point.
Wow.
The tiebreakers, you got to pick like what you think the score is going to be. So I learned from my mistakes. I last week I overshot, right, and I've probably learned that going better because I didn't know if you went under, you're still in, right? I thought like if you were under, you're done,
Yeah.
but now I guess you're not. So I kind of lowballed. So I put the score was like 41 and a half
Mm-hmm.
out of the lowest, and the other guy was 42. I
Oh
felt
my
so bad,
God.
like I deserve this. So I got cheated last week. I got 12 wins and I lost, which is unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Right? So I deserve to get 10 wins. I deserve that because I got cheated so bad last week.
Hey, listen, what goes around comes around. Karma came back and bit the other players in the butt.
Of course. So yes, the first game is a absolute banger on Thursday night. Chicago Bears and the Washington Commanders. We got the Commanders minus 6.5.
First off, Chicago Bear fans, I feel so bad for you right now
You guys
because
suck. Fire everybody.
fire everybody. Get rid of Matt Eberflus, get rid of Ryan Poles, get rid of everybody. Justin Fields, disaster, just all across the board, just bad.
Maybe not Ryan Poles, but because they just hired him.
Yeah, but again, like Matt Eberflus definitely should be on the hot seat. But anyway, the
Terrible.
Commanders lost a heartbreaker in overtime to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Chicago Bears had a 21-point lead against the Denver Broncos entering the fourth quarter, and they choked it away, losing 31-28 to Russell Wilson.
That's such a questionable call too by Ron Rivera. I gotta go for that. I can't just sit there and give the Eagles the ball back. I'm going for 2 of that there if I'm Ron Rivera. But besides the point, for me personally, I'm taking the Commanders minus 6.5.
Yeah, I'm taking the Commanders minus 6.5 too. This is an easy bet for me. The Bears are just done. What's next?
Next, Jags, Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills minus 5.5.
This is interesting, and this game is also in London. I'm not
London
going to talk the
Jags,
action.
baby. London Jags.
The London Jags. So, fun fact, they're 5-5 in London all time. They've had more London games than any team in the NFL. So, the Jacksonville Jaguars had a big week in London against the Falcons. They looked really good. Finally, they get the respect that they deserve. But the Buffalo Bills have just been dominant the last 2 weeks. Ever since they lost to the Jets, they've just murdered opponents. Murdered them. 48-20 against Miami, 38-3 or 35-3 against the Commanders, and then 38-10 against the Raiders. They've murdered people. And I'm scared. And I know Tre'Davious White recently tore his Achilles, so that can hurt their defense a
The
little
turf
bit.
monster.
Turf monster. You gotta love the turf. But I gotta be honest with you, this should be a high scoring game. If I was betting the over on this, I would feel pretty confident about that. But as far as picks on spread go, this might be the first time since week 1 that Buffalo has a challenge. So I'm gonna take Jacksonville plus 5.5 because I think Jacksonville has a challenge on their hands. But I think Buffalo has a challenge on their hands.
I'm gonna take Buffalo as well.
Okay.
Next,
next?
We got the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. This is a pick 'em. This is 0.5 points for the Colts. Colts minus 0.5.
Colts minus 0.5. Okay, this is interesting. So Anthony Richardson, for those of you who do not know who this guy is from Florida, he is phenomenal.
If you're a betting man, take an Anthony Richardson anytime touchdown. I've done it every week, and it's hit every week.
It's every week, so there you go.
Him and CMC, Matty. I doubled down the last 2 weeks. Bada bing, bada boom. CMC anytime, Anthony Richardson anytime, boom. Easy $60.
And we're not going to do fantasy on the show, but if you ever want to pick up a quarterback and you're struggling and you don't really have a quarterback, Anthony Richardson wouldn't be a bad player to eye on because the dude can run, the dude can throw, he's got a great offensive line. But the problem with Anthony Richardson, and this is a positive for the Colts, Jonathan Taylor is coming back to practice. So
is he though? Is he though?
He is.
I don't know about that because JT still says he doesn't want to play.
Well, I mean, the Colts are in first place in the division. They're at a forward tie 2-2. But Jonathan Taylor did say he's going to return to practice tomorrow. It's a good start for the Indianapolis Colts. And I honestly think the Titans are not that good. Going into a big game like this early in the season, I think I got to go with the Colts minus 0.5. I got to take the Colts.
Okay. I'm going to agree. I'm going to go with the Colts.
All right, what's next?
The dominant Houston Texans against the Atlanta Falcons. I can't believe this game is actually the Atlanta Falcons favored by 1.5. That is disgusting.
That is disgusting. I think, listen, if you're Arthur Smith, you got to be asking yourself, what do we need to do to stay consistent here? But the Houston Texans.
Taylor Heineke, don't start Desmond Ridder. It's simple.
Clearly. But honest to God, I watched a little bit of the London game, not the Toy Story presentation, but I heard that was good too.
Oh, dude, that was terrible.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of the London game. Desmond Ridder is just not it.
Bro, Desmond Ridder is gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
And we've seen Taylor Heineke do well in the past. I mean, I don't understand why he was benched in Washington to begin with. But honestly,
the Houston Texans sucks.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
Because he stinks, Maddie. He is so bad.
He won the Commanders a bunch of games.
We're not. We're talking about Taylor Heineke. Oh, I thought we were talking about Desmond Ridder.
Taylor Heineke.
Oh no, sorry, no. Taylor Heineke's good. Taylor Heineke almost won the playoff game against the Bucs.
Yeah.
If they start Taylor Heineke right now, they probably beat the Jags in London. The Jags don't look good at all.
Mm-mm.
They would be 3-1 right now if they had Taylor Heineke. Easily. They beat the Packers by more than they did because they shouldn't have beat the Packers.
Yeah.
Heineke's not a bad quarterback. It's just Desmond Ridder is just ugh.
Yeah, not good. So here's what I am going to say. I'm going to take the Houston Texans minus plus 1.5 here. Here's why. CJ Stroud doesn't turn the football over. That defense is solid. Their special teams is great. And I like D'Amico Ryan's coaching. So I'm going to say the Texans plus 1.5 in this game because unless Atlanta decides to wake up and make a quarterback change, I'm not really confident about that.
Yeah. That's true. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna take the Houston Texans.
Taking the small wood. What's next?
Next, Carolina Panthers against the Detroit Fighting Dan Campbells. Lions minus 8.5. This dude, this is my team. I love the Detroit Lions.
I love the Detroit Lions too.
I love Among Us St. Brown. I love Among Us.
Among Us St. Brown.
Yes. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is underused, but David Montgomery, Monty is just not it. Jared Goff is just Jared Goff. But they're an exciting team, dude. Dan Campbell's my guy. I love that guy. Love that coach. He's
my favorite coach in the NFL. Sorry, Brian Dable. You can take a walk. But I love the Detroit Lions team. I love the way they play on defense. I like their offense being as steady as they are. They're not going to overwhelm you with points, but they are going to play good defense and run the football down your throat. And that's all you really need to do in the NFL. That's all you need to do. That's the formula for team success. And I think this Detroit Lions team can win their division for the first time in 30 years. I genuinely believe that. And the Panthers are they got a rookie quarterback. They're not going anywhere this year. They're 0-4. They're soon to be 0-5. I'm going to take Detroit minus 8.5.
Yeah, I agree. Next, Maddie. I can't believe the spread is generous, and it's only generous it's the division game.
Okay.
Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers. Ravens minus 3.5.
And I know why you're saying it's generous because the Pittsburgh Steelers are bad.
I don't know how many times I got to get on this guy, dude. I feel like it's every week. Kenny Pickett should not play football. Like it's just, he's not good. He's not good.
So the Houston Texans embarrassed the Pittsburgh Steelers at home.
They did.
And it was 30-6. Kenny Pickett got injured. We don't know if he's going to play. Pat Freiermuth got hurt. We don't know if he's going to play. Well, he's out for 2 to 3 weeks. And the Ravens and Steelers is always a grind game. It's always one of those hard-nosed, bloody games that are going to be in your face, physical. But the Baltimore Ravens they're coming off a beatdown of the Cleveland Browns. The Steelers, like I said, they got embarrassed. And I don't like the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. I think Matt Canada should really get canned at the end of the season. It's just
like AB said, Matt Canada should be sent back to Canada. Offensive coordinator. Bro, AB said, as much as that guy is CT and as much as he's an idiot, he's pretty funny still. It's like send Matt Canada back to Canada, offensive coordinator AB. Dude, what I would do to see Antonio Brown call a plays, what I would do.
Guy has no experience, but okay. Why the hell not?
Antonio Brown up in the booth. Give me him.
Okay. In all seriousness, though, Ravens minus 3.5. Pittsburgh
Indeed. Same. Next, New Orleans Saints, New England Patriots. This is a tough one. Patriots minus 1.5.
Patriots minus 1.5. They got embarrassed by the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry's World. So bad that Bill Belichick pulled out Mac Jones in the third quarter.
And he claims it wasn't due to performance. Get out of here, Bill. Shut up.
Yeah, it was. So Belichick and the Patriots are spiraling out of control. The Saints are coming off a shocking loss to the Buccaneers, who are surprisingly playing good football right now. But the problem I have with this game is that the Saints, they have Alvin Kamara back, but the Patriots still have a good defense. But here's the problem and the loophole that you got to look at. Matthew Judon's going to be out for an indefinite amount of time.
I think the year.
And Christian Gonzalez is going to be out for an indeterminate amount of time.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, the Patriots defense is not going to be as good as it was earlier in the season, if that. And I think the Saints got a fire lit under their butt that they need to play better. Kamara said it in the press conference after the game. And I think they're going to play better. I think that Derek Carr is really going to light up that Patriots defense like it's never been lit up before. And that's going to make Bill Belichick literally regress his mindset of why did I come back for another year. But anyway, I take the Saints minus 1.5 on this one.
Okay, I'm gonna take the Patriots. I just think it's Bill. I think he's gonna outcoach Dennis Allen. Derek Carr is prone to turnovers. I think Bill's gonna make him throw a couple turnovers, so I'm gonna take the Patriots.
Okay,
Next,
what's that?
Your New York Giants, Miami Dolphins. Just take a guess. Do you even want to know the spread?
10.5.
It's exactly 10.5.
10.5 points. My God.
That's a shameful. I'm really going to take. I always recommend against people taking spreads that are over 10, but dude, the Giants are going to get 20-point clubs. I saw a stat today, Maddie. The Giants have scored outside of the 2 quarters against the Arizona Cardinals. In 14 other quarters, you know how many points the Giants have scored?
They have scored in 14 other quarters. I'm going to say they've scored they scored 3, then 0, then 0, then 0. Or no, 6. So 9 points.
They scored 15 points in 14 quarters.
Oh my God. That's
outside of the 2 against the Arizona Cardinals. That is despicable.
Well, that's first half numbers. That was our first half numbers.
No, I'm saying outside. No, I'm saying outside of those 2 quarters against the Cardinals where they came back.
Yeah.
15 points in 14 quarters.
That's terrible.
Disgusting.
That is terrible.
Andy Dalton just dropped mid-20s on the Seattle defense. And the Giants got 3 3. Count them, 3 points. That is disgusting. This Dolphins defense, Maddie, just got reality checked by the Bills hard this week.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you may get 70 bombed too.
If we get 70 bombed,
I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. You might, bro. Your 2 rookie corners against Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. Good luck.
yeah, it's not gonna be pretty.
Deontay Banks, Adoree Jackson. I don't care who the hell is on Tyreek. Whatever one's on Jalen. Good freaking luck. Good luck.
Oh my god, this is gonna be so bad. And Devon A-Chain's gonna run all over that freaking defensive front and linebacking core because they can't tackle. They cannot tackle.
Oh, Maddie, good luck. Good luck.
But I'm 1,000% taking the Dolphins minus 10.5. I'm scared to even say how bad that game's gonna be.
Oh, brother, it's gonna be. Whew, it's gonna be a bad one. It is gonna be very, very, very bad.
Too much suffering. What's next?
Philadelphia Eagles, LA Rams. Eagles minus 4.5.
Eagles minus 4.5 against the LA Rams, who are getting Cooper Kupp back, supposedly. But Puka Nacua is legit. The guy has, in 4 career games, has 39 catches for 501 yards. That's insane. And I can't think of a rookie receiver to come off like an impact like this and literally take advantage of an opportunity. I mean, Jamar Chase was drafted first round. Justin Jefferson was drafted first round. Randy Moss was drafted first round. I don't know. Puka Nacua, I don't think he was drafted. Or if he did get drafted, he drafted really late.
Like 5th round, I think.
Yeah, 5th round. I haven't seen a late round receiver, rookie, make an impact like this and take advantage of Cooper Kupp being out and becoming just a threat on the receiving position. I'm not really big with Philadelphia's corners. I think Puka Nacua is going to expose him. I mean, think of it. You have Puka Nacua on one side and Cooper Kupp on another. Versus A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith on another side. Freaking bet the over, man. Freaking bet the over. But I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles minus 4.5 because the Eagles are 4-0. They're looking really good. I'm not a big fan of the defense. Also, the tush push or the brotherly push or whatever the hell you
Brotherly shove.
The brotherly shove?
That's what they call it. Yes, the brotherly
That's
shove.
what they call it? Yeah, brotherly shove is going to work 99 times out of 100. So give me the Eagles minus 4.5.
I agree. Next, Cincinnati Bengals, Arizona Cardinals. This is a tough game.
Yeah.
Cardinals, Bengals minus 3.5.
Cardinals fight really hard.
I hate these games. I hate these games
too. The Arizona Cardinals fight really hard, and the Bengals are just downright terrible.
They stink.
They should be better than what they are. They really should be.
No, dude, they reek.
Yeah, I mean, listen, did anyone think the Arizona Cardinals were going to be as competitive as we thought as they are right now? No. Is this game in Arizona?
It is in Arizona.
Okay, that's a different factor. Because now I think that because of the time difference there and also just the fact that Joshua Dobbs and James Conner are just carrying the load for this Cardinal team against the Bengals defense. It's not great, and the Bengal offense is just not good.
I know.
Outside Jamar Chase,
I know, but like, it is the Bengals we're talking about, right? Oh God.
You know what? I'm gonna be nice here. I'm gonna say the Cardinals plus 3.5.
I can't do it. I gotta take the Bengals. I can't fathom that's gonna happen.
Okay, what's next?
Next game, Maddie. New York Jets, Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos minus 1.5.
Now, if you remember the storyline over the offseason, Sean Payton couldn't keep his mouth shut and talk trash about Nathaniel Hackett. So this is personal. And also, Zach Wilson silenced his critics for the moment.
For a week.
For a week. Now, Zach Wilson played well. Taylor Swift did not go crazy.
You know why Zach Wilson played well?
Why?
Because he saw Donna Kelsey.
Okay.
Well,
anyway.
What? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Damn right I'm not.
Okay. honestly, the Broncos minus 1.5. This is a tough one. It's a tough one, but I think the Jets are going to get a win here. I'm not a big fan of Russell Wilson and how he played so far this season. I know they got the comeback against the Bears, but it's the Bears. I mean, both teams are bad,
It's
but I
the
think the Jets have the better defense. I think that's really carrying them over. So I'm going to take the Jets plus 1.5.
I, I'm gonna say that too. I'm gonna get full aim for it now too. I know because now they're gonna get blown out. Maddie,
All right.
Chiefs Vikings. Chiefs minus 5.5
All
against
right.
your
Chiefs, Vikings,
stat
Vikings.
padding trash Minnesota Vikings.
Of course you're going to say that.
Trash.
Of course you're going to say that. But, oh my God. It's in Minnesota. So
Indeed.
Patrick Mahomes did not play well on Sunday Night Football. Travis Kelce did not break out as many people thought he would. Minnesota is overrated. I will say that. Even though I have Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson in fantasy, they are overrated. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie about that. But anyway, minus 5.5 Kansas City. You know what? I think I'm going to take that because I think Patrick Mahomes plays good against decent teams. And even though the Vikings are not the Bears, they're still decent enough to make it competitive. But I think they lose by 7 points. So I'm going to say the Chiefs minus 5.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Chiefs too.
All
Next,
right, what's next?
Maddie, the super hot fire Sunday night game. Dallas Cowboys, San Francisco 49ers. Niners minus 3.5.
Super hot fire Monday night. I love
What
Brock Purdy
what
so much.
what does Vegas know?
What does Vegas know? Niners minus 3.5. It's in San Fran. It's in Low Rose Junction. You know what? I'm going to say the 49ers pulled off, especially because Dak is overrated against the 49ers. I know he's 2-0 against them in the regular season and 0-2 against them in the playoffs, but I think he's going to flip. I think Dak's going to beat them. He's going to beat them in the playoffs when that comes around, if that comes around, but lose
If
to them
they
in the regular
get to
season.
the NFC Championship,
If it's the NFC Championship.
because you damn well know that's where the Niners are gonna be.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to take the Niners minus 3.5 here, but I think Dak will get blown out here. Dak Thomas will get blown out.
I'm gonna take the Niners.
Okay, what's the Monday night game?
Green Bay Packers, Las Vegas Raiders. Packers minus 1.5.
Okay, so the Packers minus 1.5. They're playing the Raiders in Vegas. It's Devontae Adams versus his old team. Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know if he's going to come back from his concussion, but Jimmy Garoppolo, for poor Devontae Adams, man, the guy just can't get out of a situation. Ideas of going to the Jets. Aaron Rodgers tears Achilles. Freaking the Raiders. He had Derek Carr. Derek Carr gets traded, and now it's like, what do you do with Devontae Adams?
Yeah, well, you stink. That's what you do. You stink.
You stay. Exactly. So I'm going to the Packers minus 1.5. I think the Raiders are terrible, and I think they're probably going to lose in front of their home crowd.
I agree.
Okay. All right. Now, those are picks based on the spread. Now it's time for one of our favorite segments, and I'm going to advance this segment right now by saying this is our bets for Week 5 based on DraftKings and Yahoo Sports. If you have a gambling addiction, please seek help. Or if you want to call the Council for Compulsive Gambling in the state of New Jersey, call 609-588-5515.
1-800-GAMBLER. But just remember, it is not gambling if you win.
It's not gambling if you win. Okay, so now, all right. So now it's time for our bets for Week 5, and I'm going to tell you right now. So here's how this goes for those of you who are new: 3 bets that we like, and 1 game that we're going to stay away from. So Ryan, you're going to go first.
All right. I mean, I was just one to say never to take big spreads, but I'm going to take the Dolphins over the Giants, and I would still take the spread. I don't know there's a way the Giants are even within 20 points of this team. I really don't. No, sorry, Maddie. Right? I don't think they'll be within 20 of this Miami Dolphins team.
Okay.
I would say to take the Dolphins minus 10.5. It's not going to be a big payout, but again, that's why we're giving you a lock. This is going to be a lock upon locks.
All right. My first game I'm going to take, I mentioned this before at the top of the picks based on the spread. If you have a chance to take Eagles Rams over 50.5, I would take that because, like I said, the receiving cores are good. The defenses are not as good as they should be, but I think that Rams defense is going to get lit up. That Eagles pass rush is going to get exposed by the passing game of the Rams, especially now that Cooper Kupp is back. So if you have the Rams Eagles over 50.5, I would take that as my first bet. What's your second bet?
So my next bet is I'm gonna take actually the mm, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the over for the Saints and the Patriots. So the line is 40 and a half. I
Mm-hmm.
would take the over for that because I think even though both teams are down, I think New England's defense, like you said, Maddie, is not as good. I still think they're gonna win, right? But I do
Yes.
think that they're gonna. I think the Saints defense is good, right? But I think New England's gonna find a way to score on them a little bit. So I'm gonna take the over on that. I'm gonna take they're going over 40 and a half.
Okay. All right. Now my second pick, and this should be an easy one. I'm going to take I think I said this before. I'm going to take the Texans plus 1.5 here over the Falcons. Arthur Smith and this Falcons offense is just confusing. Until they make a change at quarterback, I'm not really too sold on that. Plus, the Texans are fired up right now. So I would definitely take the Texans plus 1.5 in this situation. And I ultimately like the way this Texans team plays. The Falcons are probably going to be up for a downward spiral as the season progresses. So I like the Texans plus 1.5. That's my second bet. All right, now your third and final bet.
Yeah. So my third and final bet actually is going to be the Bears and the Commanders. I'm gonna take under 44 and a half. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
this game's gonna be that high scoring, right? We just saw the Bears did drop a lot of points, but I do think the Commanders are a well coached team. I think their defensive line with Chase Young, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat. I think they're gonna start teeing off on this Chicago Bears offense that's not that great. I know we've
Mm-hmm.
already heard the drama about Chase Claypool probably getting traded. I don't think that affects them. I don't think DJ Moore, he's a good receiver, just not with Justin Fields.
Yep.
And then the Commanders team, I think they'll be able to score, but I don't think the Bears are going to be able to do that much. I think the Bears were a one-hit wonder this week, because I do think the Denver Broncos, outside of the Giants, have the worst defense in the NFL.
Okay. Now my third and final bet, and this should be an interesting one. Take the under on the Bengals and Cardinals game.
I was looking at that one, Maddie. I don't trust that.
I'm taking the under because the Bengals have not been good offensively, and the Cardinals are not good offensively, but they could get into a low-scoring affair. The under is 44.5. So if you have a chance, if you want to take that risk, this was a tough one.
It's an interesting line. It's a very interesting line,
If
actually.
under 44.5, Bengals and Cardinals, because like I said, the Cardinals have a good defense and they have a good running game. And when you have a good defensive running game, what does that do? It takes clock off. It shortens the game a little bit, and it makes sure that not as many points are going to get scored. So, and plus the way the Bengals are playing right now, I'm confident in that under. So those are three bets that we're going to take each. What's the one game that you're not even going to touch?
The game I'm not going to touch is going to be the Chiefs and the Vikings. That game to me just scares me because it's just the Chiefs, dude. That defense should be better than what the Jets made it out to be. Like, could the Jets have had a one-off night, make that Chiefs defense not look that great? Sure, right? But like, I don't know. The Chiefs offense didn't look that good. I know the Vikings defense sucks, right? And the Vikings offense should be good. Like, it's just a very interesting game to call. Like, I do think the Chiefs are gonna win. So if you do want to put money on the Chiefs money line, I would do that. But like, I wouldn't touch the
Mm-hmm.
spread, or I wouldn't touch the under over on this game at all.
All right, so the one game I'm not going to touch the Ravens and Steelers game. And the reason why I'm not going to touch that one is because 30.5 points is not a lot of points. But I guarantee you Lamar can probably torch that Steelers defense as many times as he wants to. I think
Oh,
Tom
of course.
Monken has really unleashed the potential that Lamar Jackson has had for such a long time.
Bro, Tom
And so
Munson.
I'm not talking about the under and over. I don't think the Ravens are going to cover -3.5. So there's really just not that much there where you can be optimistic about. So I'm not going to touch Ravens and Steelers. I know it's a rivalry game. I know it's a physical game, but I'm not going to touch it because those games can end up in 25, 28, 24. You never really know. So I'm just going to say pump the brakes on that game. Pump the brakes.
Yeah, I can agree.
Okay. So while we're waiting for Jake to come on, I do want to get started on the Emily Playoff Bracket Challenge, if we may. And I'm
I
going to
do, I
start off
do,
with
I do want to ask you about one question, though, Maddie, about the games
yes.
this weekend. So there were some questionable decisions, right? And here's my other thing, right? So obviously we had the conversation last week, right, about the turf monster, right? About it claiming its casualties, right? We saw Trey White now go down.
Yeah.
My question is, how many players, like big time players, do we have to see for the NFL to consider it? And do you think it has to be mandated, or do you think Roger Goodell's going to mandate it? Because if he mandates it, then they all have to. But if he doesn't mandate it, it's really up to the teams.
Mm.
So do you think how many more players do you think have to go down for them to do it? And you think Roger Goodell's actually going to mandate it?
He should mandate it. I mean, we've seen a lot of big time players go down because of turf. I know you've been high on this ever since the Aaron Rodgers injury, but it really is true. Like a lot of players, like they could be career-ending injuries when your foot gets caught in the turf, and it's a pain in the butt to rehab from because it takes 8 to 10 months.
But it's not even that.
So
It derails some team seasons, right? Like, and think about it, right? The Chargers lost one of their wide receiver ones. The Jets lost their quarterback one. The Bills just lost their cornerback one, right? And the Browns just lost their running back one, who arguably a top 3 running back in football. The Jets lost a top 7 quarterback in football. The Bills lost a top 10 corner in football, right? And the Chargers lost like a top 25 receiver in football. Like, it's not like it's these like no name scrubs. It's like legit players. And like, and it's not anything they did. And then also, another thing is too, Matt, is you just saw the Jets and Giants change the turf. Do you think they go back? Like, because I don't know if teams will do it. That's my one thing is I think teams will be like, nah, and just because the owners themselves aren't playing.
okay. See, here's the thing. I think the Giants should stay with where they're going, like the direction they're going. I wouldn't say stick with the turf. I think you gotta change it to natural grass. I know it costs more money, but at the same time, like you gotta protect your players.
I
And
agree.
you gotta protect your players. Like, but like the problem is the NFL owners are cheap.
And like that's the thing, Maddie. Like I don't want to hear these multi-billion-dollar teams. We just saw what the Denver Broncos sold for and what the Washington Commanders sold for. I don't want to hear that these owners are cheap because if you're buying a team for billions of dollars, I'm sorry, you could throw in a couple hundred K a year for I'm sorry, but like if you're throwing out like at the Bengals, right? Who we always thought were a cheap organization. If you're throwing out $55 million to Joe Burrow, I'm sorry, but $100 million for grass to protect $55 million a year Joe Burrow,
Yeah.
like, like investments, people. Like, I don't want to hear these rich owners talking about, oh, it's like more expensive. Like, no. Like, you are giving players like double-digit $1 million. I don't want to because I can tell you right now, Maddie, grass does not take $1 million to maintain. I'm telling you, it doesn't. Especially
No.
too with the Jets and Giants, you split a freaking stadium. Like I I, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because also you don't play at home every week and you
Mhm.
don't practice on your home field. Like you don't practice on like the Jets and Giants do not practice in MetLife. Like
Okay.
so but let's just say you're another team. Right? Let's say you're the Buffalo Bills, the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? You don't play home every week. So when you're not home, you don't maintain it. When you are home, you maintain it. It is not that difficult. It really isn't that difficult.
No.
Especially now with these motorized lawnmowers, dude, you don't even gotta push the damn thing. Just sit and drive it. I'm sorry, but like if I'm in the minority on this, then that is a shame because it is not that hard, Maddie. Because I've done it myself. I have mowed my own grass. It is not that difficult.
No, it's not.
Like,
It's
I don't
not.
have the one where I sit in it. I physically push it, and it's not that bad. Granted, do I not? I don't own a whole football stadium worth of land, right? But like, I'm sorry, it's not that difficult. Like it, if they can't go to natural grass, then it's an owner's problem, because that just means clearly they don't care about one their teams or their players or their fans. Because if they cared about any of the three, think about Woody Johnson right now. Think about how much money Woody Johnson's losing right now
Yeah.
on ticket sales. Nobody wants to go to Jet games because Aaron Rodgers isn't playing and they suck.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And because the Giants suck now, and the Jets don't have Aaron Rodgers, the game was originally sold out. Guess what's going on happen now? People are not going to attend the game.
No, so that's the problem, right? So like, it's like let's just say Joe Burrow, like like is out for the year for the Bengals. Who the hell is going to Bengal games? Like, I'm sorry, right? But like these owners got to sit down and think, oh, maybe if we lose our best players, right, we're not going to sell tickets. We're not going to get people to go to games. And then it's like, damn, like this is the problem with rich people, Maddie. You got to hit rich people where it hurts. And the only place that hurts rich people is in
In
their
the wallet.
pocket.
Yep.
So like, if like, I think Woody Johnson's getting that cold hard reality. I think it's gonna happen to some other teams, but like, dude, it's bad, especially earlier in the year. It's not as bad, right? But if it happens to some of these teams in December, in January, where these players can't play the whole next year, then that's bad, right? When you see like an Odell thing happen where he got hurt and then can't play the entire next year, those suck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, listen, NFL owners cannot get greedy. They can't really just say, "Well, we're all about the money, and we're not even gonna invest. Like, we're hoping our team wins, and we're getting a fan." Like, you can lose all that easily by not listening to the noise.
Maddie, they can let me just say this. They can make enough money to budget for the grass in one home game. What like the amount of like you've gone to games, right? I've gone to games, right? I'm assuming everybody that's watching has gone to a game, right? Like, Maddie, do you like hot dogs, Maddie, are $10. A water bottle is $4. Like, Maddie, these teams are making like like thousands of dollars a game. Not
For
even on
concessions.
not on concessions. Like, if the grass cost $100,000 for like the whole game, right? Like for the whole year, right? For all 8 or 9 home games, right? You can make that back in one day, one game
Yeah,
off of concessions alone. And I cannot let I it just that is the one thing to me, Maddie, that like I cannot listen to these multi-million-dollar owners tell me that. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear you telling me that it's not cost efficient. Like, no, I'm sorry. Like, sell the team if you think that's a problem.
that's a passionate statement there.
Because there's an issue, Maddie. If a multi-million-dollar guy is telling me I don't want to spend $100,000 to protect my players, like, I'm sorry, there's an issue there. There is a severe issue. So what are you willing to spend $100,000 on then? Because these guys are all so big in investing. Let me spend $100,000 so I can make more money, so my players inevitably probably won't get hurt in ways they would have. Aaron Rodgers on grass does not tear his Achilles. Nick Chubb on grass does not dislocate his kneecap. Trey White does not tear his Achilles. Mike Williams does not tear his ACL. Sure, will other things happen? Yeah, well, like upper body, like for Matthew Judon, right? Is grass going to stop Matthew Judon? No, but that stuff happens, right? Like torn triceps, torn biceps, shoulder injuries, arm injuries, that stuff happens. But it's more of the season end. Those are not season ending. Unless like somebody tears their bicep or tricep, those are not season ending. Even Saquon Barkley's injury, Maddie, Saquon's high ankle sprain on grass doesn't
Right.
happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and even if it does, right? You can still sprain your ankle on grass, right? Sprain ankle, a week, maybe. For
maybe
me,
two, maybe two.
But Maddie, we're also not getting the same treatment these guys are getting.
Yeah.
So for them, a week, right? They're getting the best food, the best everything, right? For us, maybe 2 weeks, right? But like, it economically is just so much better if like you just do it. It just saves so many lower body injuries because again, like if I tear my tricep and I'm not an offensive lineman, I don't really care because I'm not pushing every play, right? Like even Matthew Judon, right? He's gonna come back next year off his torn bicep. It's not gonna matter because it's a torn bicep. It's not like it's a torn ACL on your leg that keeps you from running, right? Brees Hall, we've seen, is still not the same after coming off an ACL tear. Saquon Barkley, it took him 2 freaking years to be Saquon again off of an ACL tear. So like he's not out for the whole year. He's essentially out 3 years because he doesn't return to that same player in the first 2 years at all. So yeah, he missed the first year. The second year, he's not even close to himself. The third year, he starts getting back to himself. So then by the fourth year, they're himself again. Mike Williams, 28 years old. He's not going to be Mike Williams until he's 31, probably. Like, that's insane to think about. Receivers is not as bad, but like running backs, dude, like I would be stunned if Nick Chubb is anywhere close to himself next year after his injury in college and the NFL. I will be stunned if he's anywhere close to himself. Stunned.
Yeah, it'd be bad. It'd be really bad. All right, so here's what I'm going to do now for the show. We're going to do something that we haven't done in a long time. Because I got a message from Jake. Jake will be on between 9 and 9:15. So we're going to do a two-parter here, folks. This is going to basically conclude the first part. The second part will go on when Jake comes on, and then we'll be bracket challenge. So This is how it's gonna go. Ryan, it was a passionate rant. I respect it, but it's true. It really is true. And something needs to be done about this. Something has to be done. Like
Ridiculous.
every point you brought up was valid. Like concessions and costs and investments and all that stuff. Like it makes
Man, do you know how much?
sense.
You know how much I paid for parking tickets for the Jet game?
A
It
lot.
cost $50 to park. Like, and Manny, how many people go to that game? 55,000 people.
82,000 people.
Like, yeah, like so. Week one for the Jets, 82,000 people. Let's just say on average, because there's people that pay more money to park up close, right? Like if you're going up close to tell you're paying more than that, right? Let's say on average, they're paying $50 to park. Maddie, you're the math guy. 82,000 people times $50 is what?
82,000 times $50. That's $4.1 million.
4.1 million?
Actually, wait, hold on.
Thousand.
So 82,500 times
Yeah.
5 is 4. 825 times 5 is 4,125. Then you'd add in 3. Yeah, $4.1 million.
Maddie, that is just to park. To park. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Like the Jets and Woody Johnson made $4.1 million for people to park to go to their game. To park. That is enough to maintain the grass, Maddie, for 40 years. Like, I'm sorry. I don't want to. Talking about the turf every week, Maddie, it really just makes me angry, right? But now you understand why I get so pissed off when owners I don't want to hear these people give me stupid answers like that because it's just not. It's not a valid excuse. It's just not valid. It is like you cannot look me in the face and say that. Like, I'm sorry. Or like before last week, Robert Saleh cannot look me in the face and say Zach Wilson is getting better. He isn't. Now this week he can say that, right? But I don't want to hear people telling me stuff that I know is not true. I don't want to be lied to and be and are the owners lying to me by saying turf is cheaper? Not necessarily, but it's we are talking about owners, Maddie, that have more money than me and you will ever make in our entire life. My kids and my kids' will ever make in their entire lives. These owners have more money than 3 generations of people.
Right.
So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And for Roger Goodell, if you do not mandate it, there is a serious problem. Because I would bet money, man, the NFLPA is going to sit there this year and be like, damn. This all could have been prevented. And if the NFL, from what they say, is all about their players and all about their fans, the NFLPA is saying we want turf because, Maddie, the players have come out and said it. They have said they want to play on grass. They don't like turf. Granted, the only reason the NFL does it, and it makes sense, and I've read an article on it. So do you know why the NFL likes turf?
Why do they like turf so much?
Because the NFL, based on the rules and everything, is about scoring, right? Every sport now, baseball, basketball, it's just the way the world is. People want to see scoring. People don't want to see 6-3 games anymore in football. They want to see 48-45, 52-49. They don't want to see these stupidly, just blowouts, right? Or these slow scoring, just slugfests, right? They want offense, right? And the way the rules are with pass interference and all that stuff, all granted towards offense. What is the one thing turf does that grass doesn't do?
It grows. It doesn't grow.
It makes players faster. Players are faster on turf than they are on grass.
Yeah.
And what does faster mean? If I can run 24 miles an hour on grass and I can run 26 on turf, have more scoring, right? Higher scoring games. This is what they want to do, right? But the players have said cutting on turf, not good. Cutting on grass, a lot better. The only problem, right, about grass is on rain, on games where it rains.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the only issue, right? Because you get mud, and that's a real pain. But I'm sure players rather play on mud than slip on the turf. There's ways to prevent it. There's ways. That's why we have tarps. That's why the NFL, Maddie, is able to postpone games, right?
Right.
That's why the NFL is able to do this stuff. They're able to flex games. They're able to move stuff. And the NFL, man, is one of the only sports too that plays in the freaking snow. So if teams are playing in the snow, I don't want to hear
Oh, yes.
right. Like I don't want to hear it. Like just there's too many reasons, there's too many valid reasons that I can give right now that why turf is not needed. There's no excuse the NFL can give me to be like this is why we need it. It's like no, it's not like it's not like it's baseball, right? Where
Hmm.
I still think turf on baseball is weird, right? But it's more natural than football. It
Right.
still is. Like, and
Yeah.
that's another thing. You're trying to promote offense on turf on in baseball because the ball's quicker on whatever. Turf has its benefits, right? But like it's just and that is another thing I can say for baseball. A lot easier to maintain turf than natural grass, right? And all these outfields, they're gonna mow the lawn every day, right? In baseball, on turf, you don't have to, right? Like look at the Rays. The Rays whole thing is artificial turf inside instead of the
That's
dome.
right.
They get no rain, they get no sun, so it's very easy to maintain. So it stays dry, it stays coarse. Like it's very simple, right? Yankee Stadium, right? When the Yankees get, that's why you also get rain delays too. Like because you can't play on grass when it's mud or dirt when it's mud. So like there's pluses and stuff, but if football is willing to play in the freaking snow, then I don't want to hear about playing in mud. I don't want to hear it. Just be a bunch of 5-year-olds start rolling around.
You wanna know what it is about this whole grass turf thing, and I like I said, I am listening to every single thing you're saying. I agree with you 100%. Like everything you're saying is on point. But if there's one thing that I will say is the World Cup, that's grass.
Yep.
I think.
Yes.
I think. So the soccer is grass. So if they're going to bring the World Cup here to New York City in 3 years' time, then why don't you make a change ASAP to get ready for that?
And here's my other point to that. How many soccer players, Matty, have torn ACLs and torn Achilles?
Not many.
And these guys are slide tackling each other. Football players do not slide tackle. Slide tackle is you are sliding at people's ankles and feet. Like, so these people should have high ankle sprains. These people should have stuff like that. If your ankles get turned, these people get broken ankles. Like these people, if you get slide tackled and your foot gets caught in turf, better trying to slide tackle somebody in turf.
You tore your ACL.
You hurt yourself. Like, say you slide, say your spike gets caught in the turf. Your ankle is like this, then it goes like this. There's more ways for you to get hurt sliding on turf than for the other person. Like, I don't know. I want to be over this conversation, but it actually hurts my head, and it makes me mind numbing just hearing myself talk about it because I hate hearing myself. Right?
No, well, listen,
I hate
well,
just
listen.
talking about it.
We'll end this conversation. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and then when Jake comes on, we'll get into the MLB Playoff Bracket Challenge. Because, listen, I understand where you're coming from. I totally understand where you're coming from. The NFL needs to do something about this. You have the World Cup coming to New York City in 3 years, and that was where Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. You need to do something because if a star quarterback gets hurt, and a star receiver gets hurt, and a star back gets hurt, and a star quarterback gets hurt, like it's been too much, and the noise gets louder and louder and
That's
louder.
why
And all Roger Goodell is doing is basically just blocking out the noise and saying, "Oh, it's fine. It's an entertaining product on the field, yada yada yada."
that's
But
why
it's
this year, like, as much as it would suck, Patrick Mahomes needs to like happen. It needs to happen like Patrick Mahomes or somebody.
now if
Like,
that happens, then there should be like something going on. But you
dude,
want
I'm not rooting for players to get hurt, right? But like,
to absolutely not.
if a player tears his ACL, I'd rather it be a big name player than a no name player. And for the 4 people that have gotten season-ending injuries because of the turf, it has been like Aaron Rodgers, Nick Chubb, Mike Williams, and Tre'Davious White. Mike Williams is the least relevant out of all of them, but Mike Williams has been a 1,000-yard receiver for the last 5 years.
Right.
Right? Like, so, I don't know. Trey White's been like a 4-time Pro Bowler. Aaron Rodgers is a 2-time MVP. Nick Chubb has been the best running back, like top 3 running back in the league for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so this is what we need. We need like these big players if they're gonna get, again, don't want people getting hurt. Not rooting for anybody to get hurt. But if people are gonna get hurt, we need to be the big players because those are the people that strike change.
Okay. On that note, we'll be back.
Yeah. Catch us in like hopefully 30 minutes for the MLB bracket challenge.
Yeah. We'll be
up
back.
on YouTube. So yeah, just check them out. If you're with us live, come back. If not, we'll see them both when they're uploaded. So deuces, people.